All right. Welcome to our online learning. Yes, I was having technical difficulties. Here comes the video. So hopefully you've printed out the lesson. You have done that, and you're going to write right on the lesson, or you're going to use a piece of paper, writing name, period, date, and name of the lesson, 14.4, more accurately estimate square roots. On Friday, we learned that the square root of 8 must be between the square root of 4 and the square root of 9. Now, in order to know that, you have to have the list of perfect squares memorized. So the square root of 8 is between the square root of 4 and square root of 9. So it's between the answers to those two problems, between 2 and 3. So it would be between 2 and 3 on a number line. The square root of 63 would be between the square root of 49 and the square root of 64, meaning it's between 7 and 8 on a number line. Today we're going to take that to the next level. The square root of 8, hopefully you can see, is clearly closer to the square root of 9 than it is to the square root of 4. Square root of 8 is only one number away from 9, 4 numbers away from 4. So that means the square root of 8 is clearly closer to the whole number 3 than it is to the whole number 2. And so if we had to put the square root of 8 on a number line, it would go about there. Greater than halfway, which would be 2.5, but less than 3. Similarly, the square root of 63 has to be almost 8. It's 7.9 something. So the square root of 63 is closer to 8 as a whole number than it is to 7. And so it would go right about there on a number line. Today, we're going to start with that, and then we're going to get it to the nearest decimal. The square root of 6, for example, is that irrational number that goes on forever. It's less than 2.5, which is halfway between 2 and 3. And it's closest to the decimal 2.4 than 2.5. And we're going to learn how to do that today. We'll start with rounding to the nearest whole number. For those of you who were in class on Friday, we did a little of this. Square root of 18 is between the square root of 16, between 4 and 5. But which one is it closer to? Pick one. Well, it's from 16 to 18 is 2. From 18 to 25 is 7. So the square root of 18 is closer to 4 than it is to 5. Try the next one. Pause the video. I don't want to have a lot of empty time waiting for you to go. So just pause the video, do the problem, then restart. So square root of 98 has to be almost 10. It's between 9 and 10, but it's way closer to 10, and we're going to use the approximate symbol, than it is to 9. So to put it on a number line, it's almost 10. It's 9.9 something. You can try this one on your own. I'm going to skip it to save time. So we just did the square root of 98. So answer this question. Then the square root of 98 was almost 10. So this has to be almost 18. we do inside parentheses first. So the square root of 46, we have to figure out what whole number it's closest to. Well, it's between the square root of 36 and 49. But it's way closer to the square root of 49. In other words, it's closest to 7. So that means this is 21 divided by almost 7. So which one of these answers is it closest to? Well, it's closest to 3. We're going to now take this to the next level. You don't have to copy notes. We're just going to do the problems. So, to do this to the nearest tenth, you begin exactly the way we've been doing it. Figure out that it's between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36, between 5 and 6. You realize that it's closer, much closer to 5 than it is to 6. So we're going to guess some decimal that's below 5.5, right? Because 5.5 would be right in the middle. All right, so if that 2 and 9 were like both 4s or both 5s, then we would be guessing 5.5. But we're not. We're at 27. So we're a little above 5. So we want to guess either 5.1, 5.2, or 5.3. So we're going to guess. This is the guess and check method. We're going to guess it's 5.2, right? Square root of 26, we'd definitely be guessing 5.1, right? Because it's a little bit more than 5. But since it's 27, let's try 5.2. It could be 0.1 or 0.3. There's no exact way to know. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 is 10. Step over. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. Add up the 2 rows. And look at that. 5.2 times 5.2 is almost exactly 27. It's 27 400ths. So to the nearest tenth, we're going to say that 27 is approximately 5.2. All right, try the next one. Square root of 46 is between the square roots of 36 and 49. It's between 6 and 7 on a number line. It's 3 away from 49. It's 10 away from 36. So it's clearly closer to 49 than 36. So we want to guess numbers that are close to 7. But we want to be guessing numbers like 6.5 would be halfway. So we want to be guessing numbers like 6.6, 6.7, 6.8, or 6.9. I'm going to guess 6.8. If I was doing the square root of 48, I would definitely be guessing 6.9. So let's do 6.8 times 6.8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 6 is 54. 8 times 6 is still 48. Sorry. 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 4 is 40. And look at that. We move the decimal twice. 6.8 times 6.8, or 6.8 squared, is really close to 46. So let's say the square root of 46 is approximately 6.8. Now, sometimes you're going to guess badly. You shouldn't be guessing anything lower than 6.6 because, right, 46 is really close to 49. That means the answer is really close to 7. So we're guessing numbers close to 7. Right? The decimals close to 7. So try this one. we're clearly closer to 9, but we're not way down at 9.1 or 9.2, right? We're closer to the middle than we've been. So let's try 9.3. It may not be right. We may have to do a second guess. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 9 is 27. 9 times 9 is 81. Plus 2 is 83. Look at that. 9.3 times 9.3 is almost 87. It's 86.69. Oops, I have a mistake. It's 86.49, but it's still the right answer. Okay, so it's approximately 9.3. Oh, so there's going to be a Easter egg in each one of these videos. That's my high school graduation picture. Yeah, I was 17 years old at the time. So hopefully tell your friends and they'll watch the video. Okay, we're going to skip this to save time. All right, so now we've already done whole numbers a bunch, so I'm going to skip those to save time. But let's round square root of 33 to the nearest tenth. Square root of 33 is between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. So it's between 5 and 6 on a number line. It's 8 away from 25, from 36. So we're going to guess some number that's between 5 and 6 that's near here. Well, I don't want to guess 5.9 because that's what I would use for square root of 35. I'm going to guess either 5.7 or 5.8. So I'm going to start with 5.7. It could be 5.8. I actually don't know which one. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 is 39. Step over, 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 5, 25, plus 3 is 28. 9, 14, 4, 12. So that's 32.49. That's pretty good. That's almost 33. And so I will say the square root of 33 is approximately 5.7, the nearest tenth. Square root of 70. So we're closer to 8 than we are to 9, right? 70 is closer to 64, but we're not way down at 8.2 or 8.3. Well, we could be 8.3. It's 8.2 or 8.3. Let's start with 8.3. Oh, 68.89. That's more than 1 away. So let's try 8.4. I have a mistake. 8 times 8 is 32. 64, 67. There we go. And so that one is 70.56. That's 56 hundredths from 70. This one's more than 1 away. So 8.4 was a little closer. Square root of 70 is approximately 8.4. All right, final question. Pi is 3.14. So to see what pi squared was, you would multiply that times that, and you would get one of those answers.